We all have them, right? Those habits we wish we could just break. And the good ones we want to build but can never seem to make stick. Well, what if I told you it's not about willpower? In this explainer, we're going to unpack a clear, system based approach to finally take control of your routines for good. You know the feeling. It's that just one more episode when you know you should be sleeping. It's the constant magnetic pull to check your phone. Or maybe it's that sneaky procrastination that keeps your best work just out of reach. It is a super common frustration, but understanding why you're stuck is the very first step to getting free. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about why habits are so incredibly powerful. Then, we'll dive into this psychological trap that keeps us hooked on the bad ones. After that, we get really practical with a 3-step formula to break them, a guide to building better ones, and finally, the big mindset shift you need to make it all last. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Why should we even care so much about our habits? It's so easy to dismiss the little things we do every day without thinking, but those tiny routines, they are quite literally the building blocks of your entire life. This quote just changes the whole game, doesn't it? It's not about that one heroic effort or that big burst of motivation. It's all about the quality of your daily systems. You can have the most amazing goals in the world, but your habits are the vehicle that's actually going to get you there. I mean, think about it. Saving a few bucks each day, taking a quick walk, spending just 15 minutes without distractions, none of these are dramatic, life-shattering actions. But you compound them over weeks, months, and years, and they become the very things that determine your financial freedom, your physical health, and your mental clarity. They are the invisible architecture of your life. And this leads us to a really crucial idea. If you've ever tried to change a habit and failed, listen up. It was not a failure of your willpower. It was a failure of your system. And honestly, that should be empowering because systems can be fixed. And when you fix the system, the right results start to happen almost on autopilot. Okay, so if we know what's good for us, why is it so ridiculously hard to actually do it? Let's get into the psychology of it all, because bad habits have a very strong, very sneaky grip on us. It's the million-dollar question, right? Why is it so easy to pick up a bad habit and so hard to build a good one? Well, the answer lies in this fundamental conflict in how our brains are wired to see reward and effort. Okay, here it is, the core of the problem. Bad habits, like eating junk food or scrolling social media, give you an immediate reward. It feels good right now. The cost? Oh, that comes way later. But good habits are the complete opposite. The effort is now, and the reward is delayed. Our brains, for better or worse, are hardwired to pick the thing that feels good right this second. This is why the first step to breaking free isn't about fighting the habit, it's about understanding it. You have to become a detective of your own behavior. The next time you feel that urge to procrastinate, just pause. Ask yourself, what just happened? Am I bored, stressed, overwhelmed? Once you can name that trigger, you start to take back the power. All right, now that we understand the enemy, let's talk strategy. Here is a super simple, super actionable formula for taking apart those negative routines and rewiring your brain. The process is just 3 steps. First, you identify that trigger we just talked about. Second, and this is so important, you don't just stop the habit, you replace it. You have to give your brain a new path to go down. And finally, you add friction. You make the bad habit just a little bit harder to do and the good one a little bit easier. So here's the key takeaway. Think of habits as these well-worn pathways in your brain. You can't just bulldoze them and pretend they never existed. But what you can do is stop using that path and build a brand new, stronger one right next to it. It's all about redirection, not just pure resistance. So we've covered how to deconstruct the bad habits. Now let's get to the fun part, building the good ones. This is all about creating a positive momentum and making it feel easy. This might be the single most important rule in all of habit formation. We usually fail because we try to do way too much, way too soon. The goal isn't some massive overnight transformation. The goal is to build a routine that is so ridiculously easy, it feels silly not to do it. That's how you build momentum, and just as important, confidence. I mean, just look at these. 1 page, 5 minutes. These aren't intimidating goals, are they? They're entry points. In the beginning, the act of just showing up and doing the tiny thing is way more important than how much you do. These small wins create this powerful feedback loop that makes you want to keep going. Now, here is a really clever technique to automate new behaviors. It's called habit stacking. The idea is simple. You leverage the momentum of a habit you already have, something you do on autopilot, like making your morning coffee, to launch a brand new habit. The formula is so simple. After I do my current habit, I will do my new habit. For example, after I make my morning coffee, I will write down my top 3 tasks for the day. See how that works? You're just bolting the new behavior onto an established, automatic one. It's genius. Okay, we've covered the how-to, but now we get to the really deep stuff, the why. This is about the mindset that makes sure these changes aren't just some temporary fix, but a real permanent part of who you are. This is such a powerful shift in perspective. The most effective way to change your habits isn't to focus on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. At the end of the day, your habits are just a reflection of your underlying identity. Just look at the difference here. The goal-focused approach feels like a struggle, right? It feels like you're fighting against who you are. But the identity-focused approach feels like an expression of who you are. Every time you do that habit, you are casting a vote for that new identity. You're not just working out, you're becoming the kind of person who is active. That creates this incredible feedback loop, making the whole process so much easier. And this is the final, most freeing piece of the puzzle. You are going to have bad days. You're going to miss a workout. You're gonna eat the cookie. It happens. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to never miss twice. Just get back on track the very next day. Consistency will always beat short-term intensity. So let's bring it all home. Lasting change is not about gritting your teeth and forcing yourself through it with sheer willpower. It's about being the architect of your own life. It's about designing an environment that makes good habits the easy choice, a mindset that reinforces who you want to be, and routines that carry you towards your goals automatically. And so we'll end with this question because it's the one that truly matters. Once you know the answer to this, you can start building the small daily habits that will bring that person to life, one tiny step at a time.